History whispers of empires that once commanded vast lands and shaped the course of civilization. The Ottoman Empire stands tall among them, a testament to the power of ambition, strategy, and cultural fusion. For over 6 centuries this empire straddled continents, leaving an indelible mark on Europe, Asia, and Africa. Its legacy is a tapestry woven from threads of conquest and consolidation, cultural brilliance and artistic innovation. It was an empire born from the ashes of the Seljuk Sultanate of Rum, a Turkish state weakened by Mongol invasions. From these turbulent times emerged a leader destined to lay the foundation of a powerful dynasty, Osman I. Osman, a name synonymous with ambition and leadership, inherited a small principality in Anatolia. Surrounded by rival Turkish beyliks and facing the might of the Byzantine Empire, Osman's path was fraught with challenges. Yet he possessed a keen military mind and a vision that stretched far beyond the borders of his small domain. With unwavering determination, Osman rallied his followers, uniting them under the banner of Islam and fueled by the promise of conquest and glory. His early victories against neighboring Byzantine territories marked the beginning of a new era, the rise of the Ottomans. Little did anyone know then that this small principality would evolve into an empire that would dominate the region for centuries to come. The year 1299 marked a pivotal moment in history, the official founding of the Ottoman Empire. Osman I declared his independence from the crumbling Seljuk Sultanate, taking on the mantle of Sultan. This act of defiance was not merely a political maneuver, it was a declaration of intent. Osman's ambition knew no bounds. He envisioned an empire that would stretch far beyond the borders of his small Anatolian domain. The Byzantine Empire, weakened by internal strife and external pressures, became Osman's primary target. Its capital, Constantinople, stood as a beacon of wealth and prestige, a prize that fueled Ottoman aspirations. Under Osman's leadership, the Ottomans launched a series of swift and decisive military campaigns against the Byzantines. Their success lay not only in their military prowess, but also in their ability to consolidate their gains and establish a robust administrative system. Osman's Ghazis, warriors driven by faith and the promise of plunder, formed the backbone of the Ottoman army. They were a formidable force, their zeal and determination striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. As the Ottomans expanded their territories, they attracted skilled artisans, scholars, and administrators from conquered lands, further enriching their burgeoning empire. With each passing victory, the Ottoman Empire grew stronger, its shadow looming ever larger over the Byzantine Empire. Osman's successors inherited his ambition and his talent for expansion. Orhan I, his son, continued the push westward, conquering Bursa in 1326. This strategic victory marked a turning point in the early years of the Ottoman Empire. Bursa, with its fertile lands and key location, became the new Ottoman capital, a symbol of their growing power and influence. Under Orhan's rule, the Ottomans transformed from a small principality into a formidable regional power. They implemented a centralized administrative system inspired by Persian and Byzantine models, which brought stability and efficiency to their expanding domain. The Ottomans also established a standing army, the Janissaries, a force of elite soldiers renowned for their discipline and loyalty. The Janissaries, recruited through the Devshirme system, were primarily young Christian boys who underwent rigorous military training and conversion to Islam. This unique system, though controversial, provided the Ottomans with a loyal and highly skilled military force. They became the backbone of the Ottoman army, their prowess on the battlefield instrumental in the empire's continued expansion. Orhan's son, Murad I, further solidified the Ottoman grip on Anatolia, expanding their territories eastward and clashing with other Turkish beyliks. His reign also saw the Ottomans making their first forays into Europe, establishing a foothold in the Balkans. These early European campaigns marked the beginning of the Ottoman Empire's long and complex relationship with the continent. In 1354, the Ottomans entered Europe, seizing Gallipoli under Suleiman Pasha. This move established a bridgehead for further expansion into the Balkans. The Ottomans exploited Balkan fragmentation, offering protection for vassalage. Many rulers submitted, fearing Ottoman military might. The Battle of Kosovo in 1389 marked a turning point. Despite setbacks, Bayezid I continued Ottoman expansion, even threatening Constantinople. The early 15th century saw the Ottoman Empire facing a new and formidable threat from the east, Timur, also known as Tamerlane. This Turco-Mongol conqueror, known for his military genius and brutality, carved out a vast empire across Central Asia and Persia. His ambitions clashed with those of the Ottomans, leading to a showdown that would have far-reaching consequences. The Battle of Ankara in 1402 marked a turning point in Ottoman history. Timur's forces, battle-hardened and strategically superior, inflicted a crushing defeat upon the Ottomans, capturing Sultan Bayezid I. This devastating loss plunged the Ottoman Empire into a period of chaos and civil war known as the Ottoman Interregnum. For over a decade, Bayezid's sons fought amongst themselves for control of the fractured empire. This period of instability threatened to unravel all that the Ottomans had achieved. However, the empire's institutions, built upon a foundation of centralized power and efficient administration, proved remarkably resilient. Mehmed I, the victor of the Interregnum, emerged as Sultan in 1413. He faced the daunting task of reuniting a divided empire and restoring its lost prestige. Mehmed I, known for his diplomacy and administrative skills, embarked on a campaign of reconciliation and consolidation. He subdued rebellious factions, reasserted Ottoman control over lost territories, and laid the groundwork for the empire's resurgence. Murad II inherited a vulnerable empire. He focused on consolidating gains and countering threats. Facing resistance in the Balkans, he led successful campaigns. Murad yearned for the conquest of Constantinople. The Byzantine capital was a potent symbol. Its capture held immense value. Murad's plans were interrupted by the Karamanids. He secured the east, setting the stage for Mehmed II. Mehmed II, who would later be known as the Conqueror, ascended to the Ottoman throne in 1451 at the young age of 19. His inheritance was an empire poised on the brink of greatness, its ambitions reaching towards the ultimate prize, Constantinople. Mehmed II, from a young age, had been groomed for leadership, his education steeped in both Islamic sciences and the art of war. He possessed a keen intellect, a thirst for knowledge, and an unwavering determination to make his mark on history. Upon taking the reins of power, Mehmed II made his intentions clear. Constantinople, the last bastion of the Byzantine Empire, would be his. Its conquest would not only solidify Ottoman dominance in the region but also usher in a new era, one where the Ottomans would stand as heirs to the Roman legacy. Mehmed II's ambitions, however, were met with skepticism from some within his own court. The Byzantine capital, with its formidable defenses and strategic location, had withstood numerous sieges over the centuries. The task seemed insurmountable, even for the mighty Ottoman army, yet Mehmed II remained undeterred. He understood that the conquest of Constantinople would require more than just military might. It would demand meticulous planning, innovative tactics, and unwavering resolve. Mehmed II, a visionary leader, gathered the finest engineers, artisans, and military strategists from across his empire, assembling a team capable of achieving the unthinkable. In the spring of 1453, the Ottoman army laid siege to Constantinople. The city, under Emperor Constantine VII, prepared for its final stand. Vastly outnumbered, the defenders fought for their empire. Mehmed II, a master strategist, used massive cannons. On May 29, 1453, Ottoman forces breached the walls. Constantinople fell, marking the rise of the Ottoman Empire. Mehmed II's conquest of Constantinople was a symbolic triumph that reverberated across the world. The Ottoman Empire toppled the last vestiges of the Roman Empire, establishing itself as a major power. Mehmed declared Constantinople the new capital, a testament to his ambition and vision. Under his rule, Constantinople, now Istanbul, transformed into a vibrant center of Islamic learning and culture. Mosques, madrasas, and libraries sprang up, fostering a cultural renaissance. Mehmed invited scholars, artists, and artisans, fostering a flourishing cultural renaissance. He commissioned Topkapi Palace, the administrative and cultural heart of the empire. Mehmed's reign marked the beginning of the Ottoman Empire's golden age. Mehmed II's successors inherited an empire primed for greatness. Selim I expanded the empire, conquering Egypt and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. This brought immense wealth and prestige. Suleiman I, known as the Magnificent, ascended in 1520. He expanded the empire's frontiers further. Suleiman led successful campaigns conquering Belgrade, Rhodes, and Hungary. His victory at Mohacs extended Ottoman influence into Europe. Suleiman's reign was marked by cultural flourishing and reforms. He commissioned mosques, bridges, and aqueducts, transforming Istanbul. Suleiman's reign is seen as the apex of Ottoman power and cultural brilliance. The Ottoman Empire, after its zenith under Suleiman the Magnificent, began a gradual decline. Internal factors eroded the empire's strength. Corruption and inefficiency plagued the administration. The Janissaries became a powerful, unruly political entity, more concerned with privileges than defense. The economy stagnated, unable to keep pace with Europe. Clinging to traditional methods, the Ottomans fell behind. European powers advanced with new technologies. New sea routes undermined Ottoman trade. Internal weaknesses led to external threats. European powers grew bolder. The Habsburg Empire posed a constant threat. The Russian Empire challenged Ottoman control. The 17th century saw costly wars between the Ottoman Empire and Europe. The Ottoman siege of Vienna in 1683 ended in defeat, marking a turning point. The Battle of Vienna pitted the Ottoman army against a European coalition. The defeat emboldened European adversaries. They sensed an opportunity to chip away at Ottoman territories. The Habsburgs launched successful counteroffensives, pushing the Ottomans out of Hungary and Transylvania. The Ottomans found themselves on the defensive. As the 18th century progressed, the Ottoman Empire faced internal stagnation and external threats. Reform-minded sultans, influenced by Enlightenment ideas, sought to modernize the army and economy. They established military academies and curbed corruption. However, resistance from Janissaries and religious leaders hindered progress. The Janissaries, once the army's backbone, became a formidable obstacle to reform. The Ottoman Empire's attempts at reform, though well-intentioned, were often too little, too late. Internal problems and resistance from the Janissaries and religious scholars hampered reforms. The Janissaries resisted change, undermining the Sultan's authority. Their violent resistance disrupted reforms. The ulema viewed reforms as threats to Islamic values. Their opposition complicated reform efforts. The rise of nationalism and Enlightenment ideas posed new threats. The Ottoman Empire entered the 19th century, weakened. Nationalism and internal strife marked its decline. The 19th century was a defining period of decline. The once mighty empire struggled to survive. Known as the sick man of Europe, the Ottoman Empire faced its demise. The 19th century dawned on an Ottoman Empire grappling with the consequences of its own stagnation. The once feared military might that had swept across continents was now a pale shadow of its former self, outmatched by the modern armies of its European rivals. The empire's economic heart, once a vibrant hub of trade and commerce, struggled to keep pace with the rapid industrialization transforming the West. The moniker sick man of Europe, coined by Tsar Nicholas I of Russia, reflected the prevailing view of the Ottoman Empire in European capitals, a once powerful empire now weakened by internal decay and external pressures, ripe for exploitation or dismemberment. This perception fueled European ambitions in the region, as rival powers circled like vultures, eager to snatch up Ottoman territories and expand their own influence. The empire's vast size, encompassing a mosaic of ethnicities, religions and languages which had once been a source of strength and diversity, now presented a significant challenge. Nationalist sentiments, fueled by the spread of Enlightenment ideals and a growing desire for self-determination, began to stir within the empire's diverse population. The Ottomans, facing internal dissent and external aggression, found themselves locked in a desperate struggle for survival. The 19th century would be a period of crisis and transformation for the empire, marked by attempts at modernization and reform, but also by continued losses, revolts, and the growing specter of collapse. Throughout the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire confronted a seemingly endless series of crises that threatened to tear it apart. Nationalist uprisings, fueled by a desire for independence and self-rule, erupted across the empire's vast territories. The Greeks, inspired by their ancient heritage and emboldened by European support, rose up against Ottoman rule in 1821, ultimately securing their independence after a protracted and bloody conflict. This successful rebellion had a ripple effect, inspiring other nationalist movements within the empire. Serbs, Bulgarians, Armenians, and Arabs all began to agitate for greater autonomy or outright independence. The Ottoman Empire, weakened by internal strife and external pressures, struggled to contain these nationalist movements, its once firm grip on power slipping away. European powers, eager to expand their influence and exploit the empire's weakness, often intervened in these conflicts, further undermining Ottoman authority and exacerbating tensions within the region. Russia, in particular, positioned itself as a protector of Orthodox Christians under Ottoman rule, using this pretext to intervene militarily in the Balkans and expand its own territory and influence at the expense of the Ottomans. The Crimean War, from 1853 to 1856, sparked by disputes over religious rights in the Holy Land, pitted the Ottoman Empire, allied with Great Britain, France and Sardinia, against Russia. Despite ultimately emerging victorious with the help of its European allies, the war exposed the Ottoman Empire's military weaknesses and its dependence on foreign powers for survival. The Ottoman Empire, weakened and isolated, faced an uncertain future in the early 20th century. The Young Turk Revolution of 1908 promised modernization and reform. They aimed to centralize power and promote Turkish nationalism. But their efforts were too little, too late. In 1914, the Ottoman Empire joined World War I on the side of the Central Powers. They hoped to regain lost territories but faced devastating defeats. The war effort strained their resources and infrastructure. Despite early successes like Gallipoli, the Ottomans suffered greatly. Their infrastructure crumbled under the war's weight. The Armenian genocide unfolded during this period. Over 1 million Armenians perished in massacres and death marches. World War I marked the end of the Ottoman Empire. The Armistice of Mudros in 1918 ended its participation in the war. The harsh terms stripped the empire of its territories. The Ottoman government accepted Allied occupation. The Treaty of Sèvres in 1920 dissolved the empire. This sparked outrage and resistance. Mustafa Kemal led a new movement. He rallied the Turkish people for independence. The Turkish War of Independence from 1919 to 1923 secured victory. Under Ataturk, the Republic of Turkey was established in 1923. The Ottoman Empire was replaced by a modern Turkish state. The Ottoman Empire, spanning over 6 centuries, left a complex and profound legacy. From humble beginnings in Anatolia to a formidable empire, its story is one of ambition, conquest, and cultural fusion. The empire's legacy lives on in countless monuments, mosques, and cultural artifacts. Its influence is seen in architecture, cuisine, and linguistic nuances. The Ottomans shaped the political, social, and cultural landscapes of Southeast Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa. Their interactions with European powers shaped the modern world. The empire's decline and collapse remind us of the impermanence of power. From its ashes rose the Republic of Turkey, a modern, secular, and independent nation under Mustafa Kemal Ataturk.